Ashley Jyles is a corporate contracts lawyer as well as the founder and managing attorney for the Ashley firm. She has provided legal services as both a solo practitioner and corporate counsel for over 10 years. In addition to her primary career role, she has provided services to nonprofit corporations, LLCs, and partnerships in which her services range from startup to business operations. Additionally, she has advised corporations on matters including but not limited to state and federal regulations compliance, contract and settlement agreement negotiations, and company dissolutions. Her niche is in the area of contracts in various industries such as engineering, finance, and mortgage, to name a few. Ashley holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree from the University of Louisiana at Monroe, where she earned summa cum laude honors. She also received her Juris Doctorate from Southern University Law Center, where she earned cum laude honors. Today, she is licensed to practice law in the state of Texas. Ashley is also a native of Monroe, Louisiana, the wife of a retired Canadian Football League and ULM Hall of Fame quarterback, Stephen Jyles, and the mother of two adorable boys, Dylan and Logan. She chooses to give back to her community by volunteering as an assistant coach in basketball and track and field. She also volunteers with numerous nonprofit organizations to raise money and devotes time to further the purposes of the organizations. Ashley is a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and multiple legal associations across the country. Welcome to the She Is in Charge platform, Ashley Jyles.
Welcome to the show, Ashley.
Hi, Meredith.
I know that you always bring the comedy and the knowledge and expertise with you about the law. But this show, like I stated before, is all about highlighting you and who you are in your journey as a person, as a woman, as a businesswoman in this world, whether you're on the corporate path or entrepreneurial path. And for you, you're on both. So I definitely want to just dive into, first of all, how has your life been this past year and going into 2021?
Well, of course, I've been in the house getting quarantine thick, but I'm going to work on that. That's one of the New Year's goals. But it has been different. I work with a team now in my corporate space, and I've never met any of them face to face. So everything has been via Teams, and so I can't wait to meet some of these people. But if, COVID keeps going the way it's going, it will be an electronic relationship throughout. But it's changed a lot. A lot of people are starting their own businesses, and they're reaching out to me because they just realize that anything could happen to where their corporate life could disappear just like that. So a lot of people are stepping out on faith. They're starting businesses, and I'm helping them do that. So it's been a pretty busy year.
My goodness. And I know it's definitely been busy for you. Now, just to give a little color, you all, Ashley is actually my business attorney. This is how we came to know each other, about 5, 6, 7 years ago?
I want to say 2015.
Yeah, it's been a while. Because it was right before I started my business. So yeah, but she is absolutely amazing at corporate law or small business law. Is it the same? Small business law?
It's all business.
Small business law. She's amazing at that. I go to her for everything, especially when I have a contract that I need to read over. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on, because when I first started out, what I was doing, but I thought I did. I thought just because that I could read and comprehend the words that, hey, I had this down. And she looked at one of my contracts and was like, we're going to take off this. We're going to take off that. This does not protect you. So, Ashley, I want to start the conversation like this. I saw a post this past week that said, if 2020 didn't bring out the hustle in you, it ain't in you. First of all, do you believe that quote rings true for you?
To a certain extent, I would say it brought the hustle more out of me and my husband as business partners, because we realized that our legacy that we're trying to go, we can't put that all in one basket. So let's diversify. So that's what we're doing now. So we're starting different businesses. I'm doing a little bit of trucking and brokering and construction and real estate. We're just mixing it all up because you don't know which industries are immune to pandemics. A lot of people say, well, I wasn't affected. Yeah, you may not be affected now, but when it rolls down, it may hit you very hard. So we're trying to protect our family and the legacy that we're trying to establish for our boys. We're just trying to do a lot of work right now so we can give them that foundation. But it has been hard, and trying to break into new and different things. And then there's so much to choose from that it's just like, what do I do? So it did bring the hustle out of me and my husband as business partners. But it also let me know my strengths and my weaknesses of what I'm willing to tolerate when it comes to business. So I look at things differently now, as far as, is this going to make me some money? Because if it's not, I'm falling back on it.
Right.
So I'm not, how can I say, in opposition to taking risks, because that's just my job every day, to calculate risk. But I want to take those calculated risks and make those benefit me, instead of just jumping in blind eye and bush tail and then gotta hire somebody like me to go and fix it because I don't know what I've done, and now I'm in a boatload of crap right now. But the hustle is there. I think everybody has a little bit of hustle in them, but I also will have a caveat to say that everybody is not a hustler. Some people just don't have it in them. And whether we have a pandemic, mudslide, whatever you want to do, if it's not in you, it's just not in you. And that's okay. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur is hard. That's why I only do it part-time. I like my full-time. I like my steady checks. I like knowing exactly what money is coming into the bank. That hustle and chasing money, chasing clients, and all that networking, sometimes it can be very, very draining. So if you don't have that hustle that's going to get you out of the bed every morning to say, you know what, let's go get it, it's okay. It's okay that you don't have that. So.
Exactly. That's what I preach all the time. It's just like, you are speaking to the choir over here, because I've been full-time now for a couple of years, and it is hard. It is a challenge. And I would be lying to say that I get out of my bed every single day just super excited and pumped about what the day has to bring from my business, because I don't. Like you said, if it's not in you, it's not in you. That's why it's good to really explore. Try it. I think it's good to try it, everybody, for at least 6 months to a year. And if it's not for you, if you discover that it's just too hard, go back to the corporate life or do your parallelpreneurship. But like you said, you don't know what industries are going to withstand this economy. So I certainly agree with you there. So out of all that you have experienced in 2020 and now coming into 2021, and you know what I'm about to get into next. What so far has been, you know I got to do it. What so far has been your greatest lesson?
Oh, my greatest lesson. When things happen in my life that I think are a downfall, don't sit back and let them continue to be a downfall. And what I'm saying is, I was full-time in-house counsel at my previous employer. And then when the pandemic hit, they moved us all down to part-time. So we worked 1 week on and 1 week off. So I was like, wait, these are my coins here. They're being cut in half and I'm doing the same amount of work. So I was like, no. And that put a fire up under me to go and look for something else. And that's how I ended up in my new position. Even though it was a pandemic, it was just like, are you going to sit here and let this pandemic control your life? Or are you going to make your own chess move and say, okay, this is my gambit. Let me take control of it. And that's what I did. And in turn, God blessed me to put me in a bigger and better role to where I'm getting much more, how can I say, elevated experience than I would have gotten at my previous employer. So the lessons learned. I mean, it's been a lot. Always network. Always keep that door open. Keep your resume updated. Never turn down anything because you feel like you're happy where you are, because there could be something out there. So don't close those doors. Entertain the offers. Just take a look at it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can say yes or you can say no, but always be agile. That's what I learned. Be agile and don't feel like this is the end for you, because in corporate America, there's so many different avenues you can take there, not only in just like your current career path. If you want to change it up, some companies are very amenable to allowing you to go into a different phase of the company. So just keep those doors open.
Certainly. Well, Attorney Ashley Jyles.
It is I.
Please, will you please? And I don't know if you feel comfortable in sharing. If you don't, that's fine. We can move on. But I would like for you to please share your thoughts about the recent sedition surge at Capitol Hill, as well as the outcomes of the Black Lives Matter protest. I would like to know your thoughts about the BLM issues that we as a people have been experiencing in recent years. And what's your thoughts on that compared to how the law has reacted to BLM versus just a couple of days ago at the Capitol?
I have a very controversial standpoint on that. With that said, it's that I live in the South, of course, and I've seen how we're battling not only against the outside factors, but against inside factors too. Because one moment I see on television protesters that are out there in front of police officers getting tased, getting smoke gas bombs, all of this going on. And we're trying to fight to be treated equally. We're trying to fight for justice for those who have been wrongfully killed by police officers. And then I turn the news on again and I see a shooting and killing one another. So it's just like, I always believe in starting at home base. Until they see how we treat ourselves and we respect ourselves as the kings and queens that we are, they're going to feel validated about their stance and how they feel about us. They're not going to care. We have to take responsibility for our neighborhoods, for our Black businesses, for our churches. We need to come together, stop being so divisive, because we can't sit up here and say that we stand with another group of people if we're not standing close-knit in our own in our own circle. But that Capitol, that hit hard for me. That hit very hard for me, because we all know that if that crowd was different, and when I say different, I'm meaning if it was us, we wouldn't have made it to put our toe in the grass. It would have been a massacre. And I hate that it happened, but I think it needed to happen so America can wake up and see what they truly are. This is America. This is how we've been. The curtain has been dropped. Everything has been exposed. What hurts the most is they were doing that tomfoolery in the name of being Christians. There was nothing Christian about the behavior that was displayed on Wednesday. Nothing at all. You're acting like monsters, animals, thugs, because that's what you would have called us for just taking a knee for a flag. But you're out there climbing the walls that you thought were going to keep Hispanics out. Clearly, that wasn't going to work. You're letting them breach. They're breaking windows. They're entering into the Capitol armed. How could this happen? How could our infrastructure be so weak so that we let regular people, not military trained people, regular people, basically breach our Capitol? It does not make sense to me, and it hurts and it's painful, because all of this was rooted in hate. Until we come together as Black people, different cultures, different nationalities, and say, you know what, let's put all of this racism and prejudicial treatment behind us, this country is going to be in turmoil. We're on the brink of a civil war because we can't see past color. And it doesn't make sense. So now we're the laughing stock of the world, which we're supposed to be the leading country. And now they're sitting back, sipping on their tea or whatever else they may have, and they're laughing at us. So I believe the laughter is warranted, because this country really showed its true colors on Wednesday. And it's been that way, and Black people have been trying to expose it. But when you see what happens when you sit back and you stand by, they expose themselves. So it has me in a bundle, because these are some of the same people I went to church with, that I've sat and broken bread with. And now I see your true colors. And I see that Christ is not in your heart. You want to go into this church and pretend to be following the word of God. But as soon as you don't get your way, that demonic spirit that's in you, it's coming out. So it's all that has really just made me look closer at the people who I call associates. My circle of friends is very very small, so I have to say associates. And if people are going to be like that and be hateful for no reason at all and just can't show unconditional love for one another, you don't need to be in my circle. That's friends or associates. And that's what I'm learning from everything that happened on Wednesday. This country, we need prayer, we need God, and we need to grow the hell up, because this is not going to take us anywhere.
Thank you for that. I love how you always bring the realness. They just don't know about you. You are a force to be reckoned with. I know about you because I have to get with you on a regular basis, and you're just like always straightforward about your thoughts.
You're watching She Is in Charge, the platform where provocative, empowered, educated, and ambitious women come together to share our thoughts, experiences, and expertise about business through the lens of corporate and entrepreneurial leadership. When you subscribe today, you'll also gain lots of access to free resources, tools, tips, and strategies that will help you maximize your corporate and entrepreneurial value. I'm Meredith Ward, your career and startup CEO strategist, leadership coach, and host of the She Is in Charge platform. As usual, I hope you enjoy the video today. Please subscribe to the She Is in Charge channel on YouTube. And don't forget, click like, comment below, and share this video with everyone you know.
Let's talk about your brand, the Ashley Firm. What made you, Mrs. Jyles, Attorney Jyles, pursue a career and build a brand focused on business law?
I really didn't create it. It really just happened for me. I guess people think lawyers are all knowing or something. And people would just reach out and say, Ashley, how do I do this? Or and I was like, you know what? I don't know, but let me go and find out. So people were actually paying me to do research, to find resources for them. And I was like, well, here you go. You can know. No, Ashley, you do it for me. I'll pay you for it. And that's how it all started. And I haven't had any, how can you say, paid advertising. Everything has been off of word of mouth, referrals. It's been a blessing. And I realized that I enjoyed helping our small businesses, Black businesses. And I don't limit it just to Black businesses. Like, if you need my help and you come to me, I will help you. But it was just to sit back and see those businesses grow over the years. And these people are doing amazing things out here. And I tell all of my people, I'm so proud of you. You keep this up. I will tell people about you. I will refer. And I love having that network of people in different businesses, because the more we know about each other, the stronger we can make each other. Iron sharpens iron. And that's what I want to do. I want to continue to do that, because we have some great people out there. I have clients that have boutiques. I have clients who have massage and spas. I have clients who have churches. I mean, it goes around. And I love how we're coming together as a community to try to, uplift one another. It was funny because I reached out before I had my baby boy in 2019 to my friend that works at a radio station. And I'm like, hey, I have all of these business clients out here. Would you guys like to do a segment where you give a shout out to a small business, a Black owned business? And he was like, well, let me go back to the producers and let me see if it's okay. So it had been stalled for about 6 months. And then boom, that's when Black Lives Matter went through the roof. Now I see every radio station has a Black business segment. I'm like, okay, this should have been done a long time ago. When I was offering that to you, bringing that to the table, you didn't want to hear me. But now that we're getting killed out in the streets and we got to protest and do all this other stuff, we're doing what we should have been doing from the beginning of it. I just feel like we just need to strengthen our own. Just start here.
Right. Well, I love your story behind. I already know like some of your life story and how you got started and where you came from. But what were you initially hoping to accomplish by creating the Ashley Farm? Like, what was the main thought that said, oh, I'm going to step out here and do this? I know that people were coming to you for the research part of it because, you know, there's always an avenue or opportunity where people don't want to do the work. That's where you can actually start a business. But what really for you, before you said, I'm going to start it, was the force that pushed you into entrepreneurship?
That people couldn't go and get the services at reasonable prices. I saw a lot of people miss out on opportunities because other places were just charging them way too much. And so what I did was like, okay, let me give this portion to you, and then I will walk you through the other steps so you can be self-sufficient. And so with that, I didn't have to do the whole process for them. I did what needed to be done. That was more of the complex part of it. And they saved money on the things that they could do for themselves, because I do registered agent services and everything. I could easily charge $150 a year to receive, your communications from the state or process of service. Right. I tell them, hey, are you working from home? Do you have somebody that stays at home all day? Guess what? They can do this for you for free. I'm always letting my clients know, like, hey, this is how you can save money. And I believe that's why a lot of them continue to come back, because they're like, okay, she's not going to nickel and dime me. She's going to let me know what needs to be paid for and what doesn't need to be paid for, what I can do on my own and what I need to outsource. And I think if we're more honest and stop looking at, okay, everything I do, I need to make the maximum dollar, then more people will be interested in your services. I don't want to be that, okay, I'm going to charge you for every single thing on here, because there are a lot of things in business that can be done by that business owner at no charge.
Right. I think also that sometimes when you're starting a business, we want to charge the maximum amount possible and then some, but then you have to look at your competition. It's just like opening a nail shop. If you're going to do that, if the general nail shop is charging $40 for a manicure, you coming in as a new business owner, somebody who is not known, on top of that, charging $50 doesn't make any sense. What you might want to do is bring it down to $35 so you can get a clientele and then work from there. Let people build up value in you.
All about your strategy. And at the end of the day, you have to think about what your customer wants. What do they need? So if you have a service, how can you make your service stand out compared to your competitors? Sometimes you may have to take a cut on that bottom line, or you may offer a little bit more. Okay, like you said, the nail salon, I can give you that $35 manicure, but guess what? I'm going to throw in a couple glasses of wine over here. I might throw in a little neck massage. Make yourself stand out from your competitor. Don't always feel like because my competitor does it, I need to do it exactly the same way they're doing it, because you can always do it much better.
Right. Well, what services? I know about some of the services that you offer, but the audience does not. So she is in charge. From Ashley, I want to hear from you. What are the services that you offer, and what are your top 2 services?
Oh, there's been a lot, because I've been evolving. So I started out with business entity startup. I do a lot of that. I do a lot of contracts, a lot of leases, because I have customers that, of course, enter into commercial leases, and they just have no clue what they're being locked into. So that is the majority of my practice is business entity startup, business consulting, and contracts. But I also do some estate planning. I also do some bookkeeping for certain businesses, because they just don't have time to do that. I do a lot of annual reports for a lot of my businesses too. I do some dispute resolution. It just depends on the complexity of it, because of course I have a full-time job. So I have to make sure that I can service my clients competently. So if it gets too much to where I just don't have time to do it, then I'll pass it on to someone else. But a lot of certifications, business certifications, business licenses, business permits, you name it. It basically, I can do it, but I don't litigate. Let me be clear about that. I do not litigate. I hate courtrooms. Don't want to step into a courtroom. Don't like people in robes. So
Well, dang.
nothing like that. But I have a lot of colleagues that if
Mhm.
someone needs a litigator, I can, refer them out to those people. But I just enjoy helping people get their business started. I do a lot of research for people and advising them on, how to build up a business and also how to dissolve a business. It just depends on what they ask me to do.
And the queen of contracts, might I add. So for you, because you are in the midst of a lot of people starting their businesses, a lot of people trying to grow their businesses, why, from your level of expertise, why is it so important for entrepreneurs to hire an attorney?
Every business you have will take on a certain level of risk. You need to be aware of those risks. You need to know exactly what you're doing, because you're not going to be a jack of all trades. There are going to be some things that come up in your business and laws that change that may affect your business. You may need to know exactly what you're signing up for. So you need someone who is well versed. And it doesn't have to necessarily be an attorney, but if you know someone who's well versed in business and it's either in the legal aspect or outside of the legal aspect, you need to be aware of the different factors that could come into play when it comes to your business. A lot of people do business and don't have the right permits. They don't have the right licenses. They don't have the right setup. And it's just like, oh no, you need to do X, Y, and Z before you can even sell this. Oh, I have a client. She was like, oh, I have this business and I signed this lease in this certain city. And now there's a city ordinance that says I can't sell these things in this city. I'm like, oh, okay. It says right here, if you would have read the zoning, that you could not do this. And she was like, oh, I didn't know about that. And that's different things that lawyers can bring into place, because a lot of when it comes to properties, a lot of landlords won't disclose that to you. And so you have to, know how to look into things and see those restrictions, those deed restrictions, see what type of penalties or liens you may have against you. It's so much when it comes to business. And it just depends on the type of business, because if you're just, doing something simple, you're selling products, are you going to trademark it? Are you going to copyright your stuff? It's just a bunch of different things that factor in to say, I am protecting my business, I'm protecting my brand, and at the end of the day, I'm protecting my pocket, because you really want to keep your money in your pocket. You don't want to keep spending money on lawyers to get you out of trouble. You want somebody at the forefront. Be proactive. Get that lawyer on your side at the beginning, so it's cheaper to pay them up front than have them to be paid to clean up. That's the biggest thing with having someone in your corner as far as a lawyer.
Now, here's my second question about that. Should everyday employees, your corporate employees, people who are employed by other individuals, should they consider hiring a corporate attorney, and why not? And I'm asking that because of all that has been going on.
Say that one more time for me, Meredith.
Should everyday employees of companies consider hiring a corporate attorney? Due to everything that has been going on lately. That's why I asked that question.
I wouldn't say a corporate attorney. They just may need to have an employment attorney in their pocket, someone that they can go out and reach in, because employment law is a tricky area. You really want somebody who has labor and employment law as their niche, because it changes and it applies so differently, and there's so many exceptions to it. It gets very, very complex. So it would be a benefit for corporate employees to have someone, because at the end of the day, that HR that they're reporting to, they work for the company. Right. That legal department that they're reporting to, that compliance department, they work for the company. So if you were to have an outside third-party attorney for labor and employment, discrimination, whatever you want to look for them to help you with, if you were to have that person in your corner, they could give you a better chance of knowing what rights you have and what rights you don't have. Because If you're employed by that company, your fiduciary duty is to that company. It's not to that employee.
Right. That's what I try to get people to understand all the time. If you're going to HR, it's not that it's so bad to go to HR in your organization, but understand that HR is for the company, not necessarily for you. So you really have to be mindful of that. So yeah, thank you for that advice. I hope you all are taking notes. She is in charge. When, in your opinion, is it the best time for both employees and small business owners to get serious about hiring an attorney? I think at the very beginning, I think that all employees personally should have one on their side, like you said, a third party person. But when do you believe that they should get serious about hiring an attorney? Different scenarios.
I agree with you to say at the very beginning, because I am a very proactive person. I don't believe in letting an event occur and then reacting to it. So if possible, have that attorney with you at the beginning so they can give you that advice that you need. And if you have questions at that time, instead of you guessing and going out there and potentially putting your business and your brand in a negative spotlight, you could have that leverage by leaning on that legal resource. So I would definitely agree with you and say at the beginning, not midway through or at the end.
All right. Well, we are coming to the end of this conversation, but before we go, please share something unique about yourself or one of your favorite quotes. I got you last time on the favorite quote, so share something unique about yourself.
Girl, I got a lot of sayings. Oh my goodness. My favorite quote.
We talked about, the last time I interviewed you, we talked about stupid people.
Oh, those are things that aggravate me. Those are things that aggravate me. That's a touchy spot. But I would say a quote. I have a Bible verse, Joshua 1:9. Be courageous, be unafraid, because God is with you wherever you go. I love that verse, because a lot of times when stepping out into a business, you are stepping out and you're relying on your faith. You're basically relying on God to get you where you need to go and to make those steps, clear for you. And so a lot of times I suffer from anxiety. So a lot of times that anxiety will paralyze me, and I have to come back to that scripture. Do not worry, do not be afraid, and trust in God, because he will lead you to exactly where you need to be. So that would be my absolute favorite, and I use that in daily life and in business life.
Amen. So what's next for the Ashley firm? What's next for you? Because you got a lot going on. You got trucking, you got real estate, you got legal. What else is going on with you?
I am working on getting my real estate license. I want to transition not only the Ashley firm to be a legal resource, but I also want it to be a 360 real estate resource. So I want to control the room instead of having a seat at the table. I want to build that table, and I want to go real estate from A to Z. My husband's in construction, and so we want to build affordable living subdivisions for people who just don't have the $600,000-$700,000 to buy these homes that these people are selling right now. And we want to help them get their credit together. We want to help them get financing. If they need even if they don't purchase from us, if I was to find them a fixer-upper, they would have someone from my husband's side in the construction field to come in and remodel those homes for them. Also, if they need stuff just fixed around the home, if they need a third-party appraisal, that's what my husband and I are working towards in our private business that we have. So that's my next journey, is to be able to basically keep it all, and I feel like me and my husband, of course, with the help of, our network, we can make this happen, and people don't have to worry about whether they can afford a home or not. The homeless population it's ridiculous. And I hate to see that people are being denied adequate housing because They just don't meet that income bracket. I believe everyone deserves a home. And I also believe that affordable housing doesn't have to be the projects. It doesn't have to be the ghetto. I believe that we can build our own cities. We can build our own subdivisions to where we live amongst each other peacefully. If we start them and coach them of how they're supposed to respect themselves and their property, then it will spread as we go.
Everything ties back to what you said in the first place. Take care of your own first.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there you grow. Well, how can the She Is in Charge audience get in contact with you?
You can contact me at theashleyfirm@gmail.com, or you can contact me via phone at 972-849-8888. It's an easy number. I'll never change it. So those are the two ways they can get in contact with me.
And I must say that I love the partnership that comes from Black love. So congratulations to you and your husband on that and growing together in business and obviously with your family. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you as usual. And of course, we're going to be on the phone later talking, but thank you so much. And, She Is in Charge audience, I hope you all did take notes today. This woman is full of life. She's full of knowledge, and she executes well on every plan that I have known her to put together. So congratulations again. Have a good year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Blessings.
Well, She Is in Charge family, I hope you all enjoyed this video today and took lots of notes. Remember, it's all about purpose. Think it, speak it, write it, work it into existence. Until next time, subscribe to the She Is in Charge channel on YouTube. Don't forget to click like, comment below, and share this video with everyone you know. Thanks for supporting.